Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. Guys, today we're going to dive into the altcoins. What I want to do is encourage you to take a look at this altcoin with an open mind, okay? I know what you want to hear. Everybody wants to hear that their coin is going to 50x, 100x. I get it. I want to hear that too, okay? But listen to me. I've been through 3 bull markets and I'm now in my 3rd bear market, okay? And I'm not saying I'm always correct, okay? But I know how these things go, okay? We're going to look at the coin from a technical standpoint. How many of you a few weeks ago, as your coin was going up 60, 70, 100%, was listening to the influencers telling you this time is different, super cycle, Bitcoin dominance is headed down, alt season is here, blah, 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 blah. And today your coin is probably down 50%. Okay, don't listen to the noise. Okay, we're going to look from a technical standpoint. Okay, I don't know about your fundamentals of your coin. I don't know any of that kind of stuff. We can't predict what may happen later, what partnerships may come in, what scandals may come up. We can't predict those types of things, but what we can predict and know for a fact are things like tokenomics, circulating supply, technical analysis. Those things don't change. So we can look at it from a technical standpoint and take a realistic approach to what this coin might do. If anything comes later, like some sort of hopium or some sort of deal or some sort of thing like that in the economy with your coin, where it gets worldwide mass adoption, great, that's a bonus. But be prepared for less, okay? Or be prepared for a more realistic target. The biggest mistake I made in my first cycle was listening to everyone else who said that my coin was going to 50, 60x. And as I sat here and watched it 10 and 15x, which was great, I didn't take profit because I was waiting on that 50x because I believed the narrative. And I wound up writing that coin all the way back down and round tripping it, right? I learned from that mistake. If you're not at least open-minded to hearing what a conservative approach would be, then you're only showing your inexperience in this market. So don't be inexperienced. If you are inexperienced, at least try to learn, okay? If I think your coin's going to 100x, I'm going to tell you that. If I think it's going to 5x, I'm going to tell you that. If I think it's going to 0, I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to keep it real with you. I know I could get way more clicks by just coming in and shouting 100x, but that's not going to serve you anything good in the future. So let's take a realistic approach to these coins, and we'll see if we can figure out where a good bull market top is going to be. Let's take a look at the charts. Here we go. All right, y'all, taking a look at Solana, everyone's favorite. I am on the weekly Binance chart. Now, Solana is a bit of an old school coin. It goes way on back here, but we're not going to take a look at this price action when it was down here of sub $1. I just don't think that is relevant anymore, if ever again. And if it is relevant, it will certainly be very far in the future, in my opinion. So we're just going to ignore that price action and focus on this top section from about 2021 on. Now, what I'm about to tell you is what I believe is a reasonable, realistic price target. I know there's some super bullish people on Solana, and that's great. I'm bullish on the project as well. And if it does better than what I'm going to predict, don't send the hate mail my way. I get it. Just be prepared maybe for an underperformance. Even though I think it's going to set a new high, be prepared for less than what you may think it's going to be. And if you're surprised with more, great. But be prepared just in case, okay? But hear me out. I do have a bullish thesis here, okay? So Solana set an all-time high price in not an all-time high, but a cycle high price in 2021 in November of $260 with an $80 billion market cap. Here's what I want you to pay attention to. At the time, you had 300 million coins in circulation, okay? Bear market down, you come back up. Last cycle, you set an all-time high in January of 25 of $295. So you just slightly took out the previous all-time high. However, your market cap, this is where it gets important. Your market cap increased almost double. You went from 80 billion to 143 billion. You did almost double a market cap, a higher price all-time high, while adding about 60% to your circulating supply. That is unheard of. That is uber bullish, okay? You had 3 million coins in circulation in 21, and in 2025, you had 490, call it 500 million coins. So you added about 60%. Most coins that add 60% do not even come close to returning to all-time high price or market cap. Solana beat both significantly. So very, very bullish coin. Today, we have a price of about $75 on Solana, market cap of $43 billion, and a circulating supply of $580 million. So you are adding coins to this asset with unlocks. Now, looking forward at the potential next cycle top, I projected it at Q4 2029. Bitcoin top Q4 2025, 4-year cycle. You do the math. If the top comes a little before or a little after, this might be a little different, but it's going to be pretty dang close. You will have 650 million coins in circulation. I can show you that supply chart. You can see the orange line down here. This was how many coins you had in circulation at your original high in 2021, and it's just been kind of trending up pretty significantly, almost double. Okay, that is dilution of the market, or token dilution, circulating supply dilution, which means you're adding coins to the market, which makes it harder to push price higher. Okay, because it weighs it down. It means it takes more market cap to increase the price the same amount. But in Solana's case, let's look at market cap. You actually do have a bullish market cap structure. From cycle to cycle, you're setting higher highs and higher lows. So very bullish asset. Now, here's where this might get unpopular. I do think Solana is going to come down both in price and market cap, obviously. Throughout the rest of this year, if Bitcoin rolls over in Q4 like it always does, maybe it doesn't, but if it does, you can expect Solana to roll over. Also, I think a good target would be right down in this box here. This is market cap, mind you, but it's a good little support area right here. I think you could roll down to somewhere around a $25 to $30 billion market cap. And then up from there. Now, what did we do last cycle? Let's fib your market cap. You cannot fib Solana on a macro scale on price because you've almost doubled your circulating supply. You have doubled your circulating supply. So a Fibonacci retracement does not work. It might work intraday, from day to day. It might work because your coins don't really change from day to day. But periodically, you have large token unlocks. And so over a macro scale, the fib doesn't work. However, market cap is linear, so you can fib a market cap, okay? Let's fib cycle 1 high to cycle 1 low, bear market low, and you returned on a market cap to the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement. Oops. 1.618 Fibonacci retracement. You can see you came up, tapped that right there, so that's a really good bullish market cap. Let's change this fib, though. Let's take it off, and let's look at market cap from this cycle high to current bear market low, okay? And I actually think you're going to go a little lower, so I'm going to project this down to this box somewhere, and that's going to give you this fib here. Now, let's just assume Solana does what it did last cycle. Since it has the bullish structure, we're going to assume that you're going to go back to the 1.618, which is going to give you about a $250 billion market cap. Okay, that is what I'm predicting for a market cap. Now, what does that translate to price? Let's take a look at the bull run price prediction. You find price by taking your market cap divided by your circulating supply. So if our market cap is 215 billion and our circulating supply is 650 million, that is going to give me a price target of $330. That is my target for Solana. I do think, like I said, if Bitcoin rolls over in Q4 of this year, Solana could come down, and I think you could get a buying opportunity somewhere around $40. Really, probably anywhere in here, $35 to $45. I think you could get a buying opportunity on Solana there, move up to $330. So that would give you approximately an 8x return on Solana. So I'm very bullish on this asset. You just have to realize that this asset is huge. It has a large market cap. It requires a lot more money coming into the asset to move money versus a small cap coin. And because it held up so well, I think your return is going to be less. So your X multiplier, 4x, 5x, 40x, whatever, I'm looking for an 8x here, okay, guys? I think that is going to be less than some coins, but it's because the coin is bullish. I know that doesn't make sense, but it means you didn't fall as much as a lot of coins. Most coins have already taken out their bear market low or come pretty dang close to it. Solana has held up really well. Therefore, I don't think you have the X multiplier that a lot of coins that are down 99% can have. That's not a bad thing. It's a great thing for the asset long term. Just investment wise, you have to make the decision if an 8x, which is my prediction, is worth it for you, or if you want to go for another coin that is down here at bear market lows that has a better return on investment potentially. Or maybe Solana's a new Bitcoin and it goes to 126K next cycle. I don't know. That's for you to decide. I'm just looking at the technicals, the tokenomics, and letting you know what I see for a reasonable and realistic price target. $330 Solana. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Drop your altcoins down. If you want me to look at your altcoin and run the tokenomics, leave it a comment. I'll be glad to do so. Subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. I'm going to do Solana and other altcoin updates regularly as we progress through the cycle. I'd love to have you on board. I'll see you guys next time.